What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be working on my 93 Mustang. I think I have bad ball joints in this car. When I went and got it inspected, they noticed that there was a little bit of a vibration, so I'm going to check the ball joints, tie rods, and the wheel bearings. Check everything in the front, make sure everything's good. Wheels off. Huh. Oh, these tires suck. Not sure if this was bad camber prior to being on this car, but I'm going to take a look at that. Because if it's showing signs of bad camber, there's definitely no camber adjustment in these old Mustangs. So I'm going to take a look and see what it could be. Good thing is that a lot of these old vehicles still have grease fittings on them, like these Zerk fittings. There's one, and then one on the ball joint too, right there. So I'll be able to grease that while I'm here. And then the wheel bearings in here, I'll take a look at those also. So I was looking around trying to see what is loose, if it was the tie rod, the lower ball joint, and none of that's loose. The strut's not loose. The strut itself is solid. What's moving around is the actual rotor. See? So the rotor's loose inside on the caliper. When the rim bolts up against the rotor, it squeezes up against this hub that's here. And what I'm seeing here is a wear mark. That wear mark means the rim, and like you saw earlier, the rim, I had to bang it off with the mallet. I got that off, and that's telling me that the hub diameter on this is not made for that wheel. So let's look at the back wheel to see if my theory is correct. Yeah, the back of this wheel is beveled. We'll lay it down without slamming it. The back of the wheel is beveled. You can see here. But the center, this center here, is not enough for that size hub. I have another set of Mustang Bullet wheels, and I'm going to test that theory by mounting up another wheel and seeing if it moves. And hopefully the rotor will squeeze against the hub. I also noticed that the inside of the lower control arm is grooved out here. When I turn this car all the way, I hear rubbing. So that tells me that it's been rubbing against the A-arm. I thought it was maybe rubbing on the inner fender well, something like that. And you can see the rim has some damage on it, some wear marks. Then it's got a big chunk missing here. Big chunk right there missing. And I thought that this car had a good set of tires on the driver's side, but apparently they look clean on the outside, but they're cracked on the inside, so I might have to get a different wheel. I'm gonna grab one of those bullet wheels and see if my theory works. So back to this. We were talking earlier about how this is fatter, and here's a spacer, 5 by 4.5, which bolts right on. See? The lug pattern is the same, 5 by 4.5 or 5 by 114.3. What this means, what I'm talking about earlier, is that this diameter in here doesn't allow the wheel to come in and sit. See how there's a space there? So the rim is coming in and doing this. So when it bolts up, it's not even. So I'm gonna grab another wheel, and I happen to have a whole stack of wheels. I have some bullet wheels in the back, but let me try one of these. The diameter on this wheel is huge. So I don't even know if I need to put this on. I could tell already that I ain't gonna have a problem. Yep. There it is. So, just putting this wheel on here, you can see when I push it flat, if it was to have the lug nuts in here, you can see it will be sitting flat. The diameter issue is non-existent. So it's the wheels. Now I gotta make a debate on what I'm gonna do. I can grind these down because I do like the way these wheels look, but the diameter just won't make it. Let me try the bullet wheels. The bullet wheels have crap tires on them. I'm gonna go grab a bullet wheel and see how it looks. So what I'm gonna do right now, so I'm gonna measure this radius the best I can and match it up to the wheel. It's about 2 3/4. So when you look at the back of the Cobra wheel, you look at the radius on the inside, and it's about 2.5, 2 5/8. Talking about the inside here. The outside it's like 3 inches, but this is just a beveled edge. This is not enough for that to grip. This beveled edge is going to the outside of that hub, and then the rest of the wheel is just sitting in here on this part. And I can't tell if this has been grinded down, but it looks like it's just the way it is from the factory. On this aftermarket wheel here, the inside's about 2 3/4 on that inner lip. So there's plenty. So this is the back of the bullet wheel I had, and I just measured this outside, and the inside is about 2 3/4. So let's put this on and see how it fits. Having a little bit of the same issue. It's definitely sitting closer. But not going in all the way. There's a huge tire. Definitely closer. No, it's not going to work either. I know as soon as I lower this jack down, it'll come down and crush the fender on this tire. This tire is huge. So let me take this back off. Okay, so I went and picked up some spacers for the 4.5 bolt pattern, so 5 by 4.5, or also could be used for other applications. This Mustangs are 5 by 114.3 or 5 by 4.5. So I put one of the spacers on already, and it doesn't exactly clear completely, but it definitely makes it a lot closer. I also went out and bought the correct lug wrench for these spline lug nuts, so I don't have to waste time taking them off with the heat and a hammer. So let me go ahead and mount this wheel up and see how it looks and fits. So I think we got a winner. I haven't even bolted it up yet, just sitting it on here and everything's flush. So the only thing I just gotta check, they're only like 1/4 inch spacers, so I'm hoping that doesn't affect the fender or where the car sits. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these up and see how it feels for rubbing or any shaking whatsoever. Actually, before I mount this wheel, I'm going to grease that lower ball joint and grease the tie rod. Since I know the wheel looks like it's going to work out, I'll grease it real quick and go from there. So just like I showed you earlier, this has the Zerk fittings on the lower ball joint. Just clip in, pump. Ball joint's full. Go to the tie rod, do the same. You only fill it up, you don't want to keep filling it past the overflow point. Just fill it until you see the boot swell and the tiniest bit of grease come out. Okay, good. That tie rod is pretty dry. All right, I'm gonna mount these wheels up. All right. No play whatsoever. And I'm just going to repeat on the other side. Well, that tire's crappy. I'm gonna steel bead on that. That steel belt with your hands, you could lose a finger. Lower that down. Really sloppy. take a look at this and grease it up too. Alright, let's get this wheel back on. I'm gonna have to get a new tire for this one. This one's real bad. 245/17. I'm gonna have to get a tire for this guy. This is not safe to drive either with that steel belt.